Hey guys, so today we're going to bake some rum raisin infused bread pudding. There's a lot going on the table right now. I think this is the first time I've had so many ingredients and tools ready to use for a recipe, but it's still going to be easy. It's just going to take a little bit more prep work, but it's nothing to be scared of. Really quickly, let's go over what you're going to need for this recipe. We have a French bread on the left, and you need it to be at least a day old. Mine is actually 2 days old. I got it on Thursday and today's a Saturday. You definitely do not want to get fresh baked French bread for this recipe because it's going to be way too soft when you start adding the mixtures on it for the baking part. It's just going to be falling apart and be a little mushy, so you want it to be a little bit old. If you had no other option than to have fresh baked bread, just pop it in the oven, get it a little toasted so it's a little dried out like toast usually is, before you cube it for this recipe, and you should be good to go. Right next to it, we have some raisins. These raisins, it's 1 cup of raisins to 1/4 cup, I want to say, or maybe 1/3 cup of rum barbancourt in the back. That's Haitian rum, holla. Anyway, I soaked it in there, soaked the rum into the raisins for 2 days. You can soak it in there for 2 hours prior to baking. It's totally up to you. I like booze, I like liquor, I like rum, I love rum barbancourt, so I decided to do a 2-day soak instead. So those are the things you're gonna have to get ahead of time for your recipe. Otherwise, everything else is just typical. You can use any type of milk that you want, but I got almond milk in vanilla unsweetened because I can't do dairy milk like that, guys. You need sugar, some nutmeg, cinnamon, which is hiding behind the bottle of vanilla extract. You're gonna need some unsalted butter. That's the little piece of butter on top for the actual bread recipe and bread pudding recipe, and then the rest is going to be regular butter, about 1 stick, and that's going to be for our sauce. Did I tell you guys that we're making a sauce? Yes, we're gonna make a rum infused sauce to pour on top of a bread pudding, guys. Okay, I'm just going rum crazy. And we're gonna add a few tablespoons of rum into the actual bread recipe itself. So yeah, there's a lot of rum going on, and of course it's optional. You don't have to put it in there, especially if you have kids eating it, if you're cautious about that. But we're grown over here, okay? So we're doing rum all day, every day. And then once you're done with that, we're gonna need 4 eggs. One of the eggs is going to be for the actual sauce. And then I just have 2 big bowls. I have one really big bowl, which is the one that I'm gonna put the bread cubes in and mix everything in. And then the other one is just to mix the mixture prior to pouring it into the bread concoction that we're going to have going on. And then of course my baking dish, and then your measuring stuff and your whisk, typical stuff, okay? I know it's a lot, guys, but just keep watching the video and you're gonna see it's actually really simple. All right, so we're gonna move on to the first step now. All right, guys, so our first step was to cube the French bread, and I have them in about 1-inch pieces over here. That's in my medium-sized bowl that you guys saw earlier. And then over here in my big bowl, my large bowl, I have 4 cups of milk. And what we're going to do is add the bread pieces in. It's going to splash. Okay, so they're all in. And now with clean hands, guys, please make sure you wash your hands before this. We're just going to like squeeze the bread pieces in and make sure that they're all soaked up by the milk. And that's your first step. Okay guys, so we're working on the mixture while our bread is soaking. I just got in the groove of things and just started making it and forgetting about filming. But all I have in this is 3 eggs. I have 2 cups of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and I just whisked it together until it was like creamy like this. And next I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. So I just added the vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of that. We're just gonna mix this all in. And then our mixture is done. We're just gonna pour it into the bread mixture that I have sitting on the side. Okay, so I've added my mixture to the bread portion of this recipe, and I just made sure to gently stir everything in so that the bread cubes doesn't crumble. Also, I added 3 tablespoons of rum to the mixture. I don't think I said that in the last clip. That's up to you. You can choose not to add the extra rum, or you can add less than what I added, or more, is depending on your taste. But I added 3 tablespoons. Now I'm going to transfer the rum infused raisins that we had soaking for 2 days into this, stir it in again, and then after that we're just going to be ready to butter our baking dish, and then transfer everything in there, and it's going to be ready for the oven. So this is how it looks in the baking dish, guys. Before adding it to the baking dish, I of course melted that 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I greased the heck out of this pan. Then I added the mixture in, and if you're looking at my dish right now, I could have possibly used a bigger dish, but too late, it's already in there. But this is my dish size. It's all fitting in there pretty cozy, but I just think that if I had a bigger dish, it would look a lot better. But you know, details, no big deal. But anyway, I have my oven set at 350 degrees, and you're gonna leave it in for about 45, maybe 50 minutes, depending on how your oven is calibrated. And then while that's cooking in the oven, we're gonna work on the rum infused sauce that we're going to add on top of it when it's all baked, when you're serving. And then we're gonna be ready to eat, and it's gonna be delicious. So over here we're working on our little sauce. So what we have going on right now is I added a whole stick of butter. So half a cup of butter, which is 8 tablespoons, melting at very low heat. If you can see it right here, I have it set it up to low heat. And once it's completely melted, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg. We're going to whisk it all together really well, and then we're gonna switch to the wooden spoon, stir some more until it's like a light but creamy consistency, and only after that we're going to add our rum to it, stir some more, and then it's done. Then we're just going to be waiting on our actual bread pudding to finish baking. Add it on top when you're ready to serve, and that's it. I just added my cup of sugar and egg into it, and now we're just going to mix it all in. Still at low heat, guys. Alright guys, so this is the consistency that you want. So if you're looking at the back of the spoon, it's like a really thick coating of it. This is what you want. And right here I have half a cup of rum waiting. I'm gonna slowly add it in and stir it in. It's the rum barbancourt, of course. And then once you're done with that, you're ready to go. Just waiting on your bread pudding to actually finish baking, and then make sure that you drizzle some of this on top when you're ready to serve. So I just finished stirring in the ramen. I poured it in little by little and stirred it in. So I just turned off my oven, and I'm gonna let this sit, and over time it's probably going to thicken up a little bit while our bread pudding is still baking. And by the way, let's check on that. It's been a while. Let's check on how the bread pudding is doing down there. But first, letting that do its thing. Okay, so this is how our bread pudding is doing in the oven. I'm a little bit nervous, just a little bit, because if you look at the rim of the baking dish, it looks like it's going to spill over, but hopefully it doesn't. So just a few more minutes, and then we'll drizzle that sauce on, and it's a party. Okay guys, so to say that I completely forgot to take it after pickup when it got out of the oven is an understatement, because clearly there's a big old piece missing, and the reason why it's missing is because I ate it. I definitely drizzled that sauce on top, and it was fantastic. But what happened is I literally, once I took it out of the oven, I went outside, I took some pictures. So please make sure to check out the blog for finished pictures of how it looked and everything. They came out really good actually. But yeah, that's why it completely slipped me to take the after shot like I usually do. But believe me, when there's a piece missing, it definitely means that it was the bomb. Okay, please guys try this out. This turned out so good. It's delicious. It's just everything you want, and there's booze in it, so win-win. Okay, so see you guys in my next post.